Hey everybody, NephilimFree here. This is a kind of an add-on to a video I made recently. Recently I made a video discussing the evidences of the Noachian flood, some of the evidences, a few of them. And in that video I explained that the Earth split open at the mid-Atlantic ridges, which run around the Earth like the seam of a baseball, and the great pressure of the crust of the Earth, 6 miles of it, on this water caused the water to eject from the Earth at supersonic speed. Much of this water escaped the escape velocity of the Earth and headed toward the Moon, where the Moon's gravity accelerated it, and the Moon was pelted by water frozen from the frozen water, which came from inside the Earth at the beginning of the Noachian flood. Well, there has been a recent discovery that provides further evidence for this I'm going to tell you about. But not only that, when the larger ones, which pelted the Moon with all of these craters that we see on the Moon, you see, these craters on the Moon were caused by water that ejected from inside the Earth at the beginning of the Noachian flood, when the Earth split open. And there were meteors, ice meteors, ranging in size from smaller than a grain of sand to the size of who knows what. I mean, possibly skyscrapers. And they shot towards the Moon as ice comets and slammed into the Moon. That's why the Moon is covered with so many massive craters, and smaller ones too. The craters on the Moon vary in size tremendously. It's covered with craters. Well, a recent discovery was made by NASA. They have found what they believe are pools of frozen water inside some of the craters on the Moon. This is a conundrum for evolutionists, because you see, first, evolutionists in the past, they stated that the Moon broke off from the Earth once when the Earth was molten. The Moon was, it was spinning, and a glob of it came off, and it became the Moon. That's not possible, because if it had been come off of the Moon, then it would have the similar chemical makeup as the Earth. The Moon is almost completely void of iron. The Earth is completely slap full of iron. You can't walk outside into your backyard, reach down in the ground and dig up a handful of dirt and look at it. You take that to a lab and analyze it, it's going to have lots and lots of iron in it. And I don't care where the soil came from. Unless it's pure clay, it's going to have lots of iron in it. Because you see, the Earth is just filled with iron. All the soil on the Earth has got plenty of iron in it. The Moon has no iron. Okay, so that proves what? That the evolutionists' early claim, before they went to the Moon and discovered what it was really comprised of, their claim that the Moon came from the Earth when it was molten, has been discredited. That's false. Okay, so now what do they say? Well, they say impact knocked off a piece of the Earth. Well, that's ridiculous, because if such an impact were to have struck the Earth would be so grossly deformed it would be quite obvious. It wouldn't nicely mold itself back round again. Sorry. So that what they claim is, oh, okay, well, then it happened when the Earth was still soft. Well, that couldn't be either, because something slamming into the Earth is not going to just leave a ball of goo sitting in a beautiful orbit around the Moon. No, it would have gone off, because astronomers already have acknowledged, evolutionist ones, that the gravity, the matter of the planets in our solar system and the Sun is not strong enough to keep the planets in their orbits. They cannot find a reason why the planets just don't go off into space, because the gravity is not great enough to hold them there. So they imagine, they make up dark matter. Oh, dark matter explains it then. Something we can't see or touch. That must be it. You see, anything to get away from creationism. Anything. Right. So that claim is false, though, however, because there's nothing that would keep it in its orbit. It would just have gone off. Okay, so now, then they come up with another idea. Well, let's see. It's got to still be a way to get around creation. Let's see. Captured. I know. So they claim the moon was captured by the Earth. But that can't be either because the moon is receding from the Earth. If it was ever captured, it was coming closer. It was captured because of the gravity pull of the Earth. It would have gotten closer. And then they work out all kinds of mathematical models. Well, we say that it's, over time it's getting in a bigger orbit. No. It's just receding. That's what we know. So capture is not possible either because if it were captured, it would be getting closer to the Earth. The moon and the Earth's gravities would be continually pulling it closer. It would not go farther away. The moon is receding. So you see, the moon was placed exactly where it is, and that's why only one side of it faces the Earth constantly. It doesn't rotate in relation to the Earth. See, God put it in. God set the ordinances for the planets He created and everything. Kind of works like that. But see, anyway, back to this claim. So they've discovered these pools of water in craters, ice, and they say, well, meteors hit the Earth. Ice. Yeah. Where did the meteor come from? They say, Oort cloud, some imaginary, we can't detect it, but it's got to be there because that's why comets are there. See? No. You see, the problem is that comets can't survive 10,000 years. Not even that. Because as they come close to our Earth and our Sun, the Sun eats them up. It burns them away. The rate at which they burn, we know now because we've sent satellites in proximity to these comets and studied them. The rate at which they burn away is too great for them to exist even 10,000 years. So this is evidence for a young Earth. That the comets, all the comets that encircle the Earth, and why do they always encircle the Earth? They come around back toward us. Why? Because that's where they came from. You see, from the flood. When the Earth split open, water shot out and turned into comets. You see, the Earth was spinning, right? Or rather, I'm a geocentrist. I believe the universe is spinning around the Earth. That's completely crazy, I know. Oh, that's true. So, as the universe is spinning around the Earth, the water is still ejecting. It would be the same as if the Earth was spinning and ejecting water. In other words, a spray of water went in every direction around this Earth, you see. So some of it went off into space, some of it went to the moon, you see. Pools of water, frozen ice in the moon, they were left behind by meteors of ice slamming into the moon from the Earth at the beginning of the Noachian flood. Now here's something to think about. If NASA makes a trip to the moon and they recover some of this ice, they're liable to find plankton and bacteria inside that ice. It's a very good possibility that they will. At that point, they're going to make one of two claims. They're going to came from the Earth to the moon, but there was no flood. Or they're going to say, that's how life got seeded and started on the Earth. You watch. It's coming.